Well, they are three words we're getting awfully used to. Work from home. You can see I'm doing it right now. It's the new reality for so many of us, which means that technology companies that help to make that a reality for individuals are pretty busy these days. That includes one of the biggest technology companies in this country, OpenText, which has software in its portfolio that is helping people to access remotely. Mark Barrenechea is the CEO of OpenText, and he joins us this morning with some more details. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining us. Nice to have you with us.
Yeah, John, good morning. Good to be with you.
Let's, before we talk about how people use your software, just give us a sense. You're a business leader. Tell us what's been going on with your company, generally speaking, as you navigate the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, very good. Let me just start with a big thank you. A big thank you to all the healthcare professionals, delivery services, first responders, those work in our data centers, our infrastructure experts, from power and water. You know, you have hundreds of millions of people working from home today, and these are the true heroes and heroines. And if I can, I just wanted to give a big thank you for all those professionals who are keeping the world running today and on the front line. In terms to the approach to the crisis, yeah, thank you. In terms of the approach to the crisis, it is a crisis, and there are multiple crises going on simultaneously. You have the health crisis, of course. You have a growing financial crisis, and and I think there may even be a third crisis brewing, which is a reordering of the supply chain. If we go back to the Great Recession, just over a decade ago, people went to these just-in-time supply chains, and now we're seeing the difficulty in a pandemic of how to really manage the complexity of a just-in-time and outsourced supply chain. So you got to manage the crisis, you got to run your business, you got to take care of your employees in your community, and you got to start building your plans to think about a multi-horizon step.
So maybe you can walk us through, simply speaking, how OpenText is able to serve some of those many people or businesses that are trying to work from home right now.
Yeah, sure thing. We're considered to be part of critical infrastructure for companies that are collaborating at scale. And let me take a few examples of that. We work with many hospitals and pharmaceuticals and biotech companies. We're a core system inside of patient management and patient records. We're the network in the United States that connects doctors, pharmacies, and laboratories for everything from prescriptions to tests. We are collaboration tools for sharing of documents and electronic signatures. Our recent acquisition of Carbonite does endpoint and edge data protection and threat security. I ran a report before we before we're getting together this morning, and 2% of all the new websites that have come up over the last 30 days are bad websites, malicious websites for phishing attacks. We're helping 2 car manufacturers around the world reconfigure their supply chains real time to do ventilator systems. So these are part of the areas where we're involved in critical infrastructure, helping the world transition to this explosion of work from home.
Part of the business of OpenText in the past has relied on big gatherings, even though you're using technology that allows people to be doing stuff from all over the place. Events are really key, bringing all your partners together. So how have you had to shift given what's happened with COVID-19?
Yeah, it's a great question. Literally within a week around the world, you had, rough estimate, 300 million remote workers try to use technology. We've always invested in our platforms. We're a highly automated business. We have 15,000 employees productive and working remotely. And we're now shifting to what we call the digital zone, right? The OpenText digital zone, where we can set up safe workspaces. We can set up our technology in these digital areas. And we're holding conferences now in meetings and customer design sessions and our own innovation sessions in these digital rooms. In fact, next week, we have one of our largest events, Enterprise World Europe, that we're going to do completely digital. We're expecting 2,000, 2,500 participants real time in the OpenText Digital Zone to keep on working and keep on innovating.
All right, so you guys are plowing ahead. You're continuing to work. Since you mentioned work and you talked about all those employees, before you go, Mark, I do have to ask because we heard pledges from several bank CEOs yesterday in this country not to cut jobs or cut jobs further during this downturn. Is that the kind of commitment that your company can make as well during this downturn?
Well, look, here's what we're doing for our employees. Of course, the health and safety of our employees are paramount. We've put together a $4 million program, John, $2 million to support our employees who may be affected from COVID-19. We also put together a $2 million matching charity program to help our communities. We operate in 40 countries around the world, and we will locally, whether it be in India, Philippines, of course, Canada, Germany, elsewhere, helping food banks, helping hospices, whatever kind of our team locally decides. So we're putting $4 million of aid in place immediately to be able to do that. I do think it's too early to really understand what the shape of the recession looks like yet. Is it a U shape? Is it a V shape? We all need to lead with compassion. And of course, OpenText is going to do its part in doing that.
All right, Mark, thanks very much for joining us this morning. Appreciate getting your insight as always.
Okay, John, thank you very much and be well.
That's Mark Barrenechea, the CEO of OpenText.